On the night before the 2024 NBA season gets kicked off, Josh Hart says he is lost in his new role, and he thinks coming off the bench might be the better solution. We're going to dive into that as well as a Precious Achiuwa update, and I've got 5 things that I'm going to be watching for tomorrow night as the New York Knicks travel to Boston to play in the TD Garden to spoil ring night against the Seas. Who do you got, though? Knicks, Celtics, and subscribe and turn notifications on and join us here on the channel for the #1 watch party on New York Knicks YouTube. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Basketball is officially back. Knicks basketball is back, and I cannot wait. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, and Josh Hart, following the last preseason game, kind of voiced his thoughts and concerns and pretty much just let everybody know that he's not comfortable in the starting lineup, and the word he used was lost. Not good. This is what he had to say. Said, I'm lost. I have no idea. There's a couple days before we have until Boston. So whether that's trying to get a rhythm with that starting unit or we give somebody else a look and my role changes and comes off the bench and go with that unit. So just trying to figure out right now, I pretty much have no idea, but we'll see what happens in Boston. If you play Josh Hart too many minutes, he's going to complain. If you don't play Josh Hart too many minutes, he's going to complain. If you play him too many minutes at a certain position, he is going to complain. Josh Hart said similar things last season, prior to this season, talking about this new role. He doesn't fit it. All they want me to do is this, this, and this. And look, what I'd say is I am not worried about this at all. Josh Hart is a guy that's always going to voice himself, and he's always going to find a way to complain. Josh, your role has not changed, brother. Do the things that got you paid. Do the things that you do well. Energy, effort, defense, cutting to the rim, hitting open shots, crashing the glass on both sides of the court, and pushing the ball in transition. Just be the glue guy. Be the guy that connects everybody. Is that a little bit more difficult when maybe the ball's not in your hands? Maybe. But I will say this, and I said this 2-3 weeks ago when the trade initially happened. I do think Josh Hart should come off the bench. I think it lengthens your rotation, and I think it makes you a better team for a multitude of reasons. I went in an in-depth breakdown on the channel. You can go check that out. I think it should be Deuce McBride starting in the backcourt next to Jalen Brunson, where you can fully embrace that switchability and 5-out offense. Josh Hart is more effective when the ball is technically in his hands in certain situations. And I think coming off the bench is just a role that he fits a little bit better. It continues energy in the game for all 48 minutes. And Deuce McBride would be an easy transition in the starting lineup. Be the point of attack defender and be a catch-and-shoot guy from 3. And when you have to create off the bounce, you could do that at a little bit better rate. Look, it's a brand new team. It's a brand new team. You got a new starting center and Karl Anthony Towns. OG Anunoby starting at the power forward spot. That's new. You got Mikal Bridges starting. That's 3 guys starting in new spots for a team. No more Randall. No more RJ. No more Quickly. This is a completely new roster. It will take some time, but I am not worried whatsoever. And I believe and I trust in Tom Thibodeau to push the right buttons to put the Knicks in a spot to be most successful. It could definitely work with Josh Hart in the starting lineup, and I think it will work. I also think it could work and maybe even better with Deuce McBride. I'm sure we'll get the answer to those questions throughout the 82-game regular season. But if you had to make a decision today, if you were Thomas Thibodeau, what would you do with Josh Hart? Would you keep him in the starting lineup alongside Brunson, Bridges, Cat, and OG? Or would you bring him off the bench to be that super 6-man? Type S for start, type B for bench. It's going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So when you get hit with that YouTube ad break, scroll on down and let me know your thoughts. For me, I really do think it is an easy decision. I think Josh Hart is just more comfortable, and his role is a little bit more defined coming off the bench. Role is very easily defined, I believe, as well when he is starting, but I think that he's just better coming off the bench unless that you need him to play 48 minutes because OG Randall, Mitch, and Bogdanovich are all hurt. Look, start Deuce, Josh Hart, Super Six, man. That is what I would do. Coming up next, Jalen Brunson. Captain! He spoke on Josh Hart and what he had to say about him being lost, and I love what he had to say. We'll talk about that, a Precious Achiuwa injury update, and my 5 things to watch in the season opener. But first, I got to give a huge shout out to a brand new sponsor on today's show, DraftKings. And when you use the promo code NicksChat and you bet $5, you get $200 instantly. The NBA is finally back. A new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's draining threes from beyond the arc? Who's crashing the boards and grabbing rebounds? Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. First time, new DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Every point counts with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code NicksChat. That's code NicksChat for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/BBALL. Shout out to DraftKings, and we've got a lineup here. Producer Smitty, diehard Boston Celtics fan. What do you got for us on opening night, brother?
Listen, Knicks fans, they might not want to hear this, but I know this, you know this. The Celtics are the better team, and they're motivated. Give me the Celtics money line on the first leg of Smitty's same-game parlay. Celtics race to 10. I think they come out hot as well. They're going to feed off that TD Garden energy. Jason Tatum, give me 9+ rebounds. No Porzingis. They're going to need him to step up in the rebounding category. And then I'm giving the Knicks a little bone here. Jalen Brunson, 25+ points. Listen, he's one of the best creators in this league. I think he's going to take a lot for them to keep it close. And Sam Hauser, give me more over 1.5 threes. I think he's going to get some buckets off the bench. Celtics aren't as deep this year, especially missing Porzingis. He's going to light it up.
If you want to lose $20, roll with this lineup. If you want to have a chance to win, though, maybe change some of things up. But this lineup right here, this same game parlay from Smitty, $20 pays $160 on DraftKings. Shout out to DraftKings. All the information you need is clickable down in the comments and description. Fade Smitty. Kid doesn't know ball. All righty, Jalen Brunson on Josh Hart. He says, I have to be a better leader and make sure he's ready to go by game one. You knew Jalen Brunson was going to have the back of Josh Hart, and Josh Hart just likes to talk sometimes, and Jalen Brunson, he is there to put the water on the fire when Josh Hart decides to speak and complain a little bit. This is what he said. I feel like Josh is a very unselfish person. There may be times he thinks I need to get somebody else involved. But from my point of view, I just feel like we need to be better as teammates to make sure we're all on the same page or we're all giving each other confidence regardless. That starts with me. Look, I'm not worried at all about this. I saw some people on Twitter freaking out about this and the Mikal Bridges jumper. Precious is hurt. The world is ending. It's okay. It's October 21st. The Knicks will be all right. And the reason I believe that is because of who they have on this team. And that includes Josh Hart. And that includes Jalen Brunson. And that includes Mikal Bridges. That includes OG Anunoby. That includes Karl Anthony Towns. That includes Miles McBride and Precious Achiuwa. High BBIQ players, high basketball IQ players find a way to win. And these guys, they know how to win. They've done it, almost all of them, at every single level of their career. I have no fear that this will be a problem. Look, Josh Hart loves to complain. I find it kind of funny. He loves to complain, and then he does everything that he needs to do to win a basketball game. Everything it takes to win, Josh Hart is going to do, even if he does not agree with his role. He's just a little loud, and he likes to talk. And I love Josh Hart. You guys know that. But I'm not worried at all about him being lost in his role before a game has even started. Make sure you are subscribed and join us tomorrow night for our watch party. Knicks Celtics. Let's ruin ring night in that fake-ass TD Garden up in Boston. Subscribe, notifications on, and I'll see you an hour before tip-off. All right, let's just close out with a little bit of a news dump. I'm sure everybody has already heard. I hadn't got a chance to talk about it. But the big sneeze, achoo! Shout out to Precious. He's going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. Pulled that hamstring in that final preseason game. Unfortunate news. He was really your only big off the bench that I had a lot of confidence in. Now they're going to look to guys like Jericho Sims and maybe the big dog, Ariel Huck-Porty. Hopefully the big sneeze, though, he can get back sooner rather than later. Prayers up, my guy. We need you out there. All right, 5 quick things to watch for. The Knicks offensive attack. Throughout the preseason, they ran more pick and rolls between Brunson and Cat than any other 2 players combined in the NBA. Will they run through Cat? Will they give him post-ups? Will they feature him at the top of the key? Will he be a guy that trails the fast break? It's a whole new team. It's a whole new lineup. And we know Tom Thibodeau has never really leaned into the 5-out lineup before. You may have to do so more than you initially wanted with Precious out. So I want to see how they offensively flow and how they attack and who's going to be that second scorer on the Knicks. It should be Cat, but could be somebody else. Also, Mikal Bridges' jumper. There's been a lot of talk about the jumper looking different, that there's a hitch in the jumper. Look, he didn't shoot well at all from downtown in the preseason. He said he's been working on fixing his shot every year of his NBA career since his days at Villanova, and he's a clear 38% shooter from downtown. I'm not worrying about the shot until I need to worry about it. Come out, game 1, shoot 4 of 7 from downtown. We'll be all right. How is Tom Thibodeau going to use his players? What is the rotation going to be like? Does Tyler Kolek play at all? Does Cam Payne get all the backup point guard minutes? How much does Deuce McBride play with that starting lineup? What's going to be the closing lineup? I believe it will be the starting 5. But with the new team, I want to see how Tom Thibodeau goes about making sure everybody's involved and making sure he's putting out the best players to create the best formula for a win. Also, where do the Knicks hide Jalen Brunson on defense? I would do it against Jrue Holiday if the Boston Celtics want to run their offense through Jrue Holiday post-ups where they use him as a power forward because he plays out of the dunker spot in the corner. Go ahead. But where are they going to play on defense? Are they going to switch on defense? Are they going to fight over or under screens? Will they be in drop coverage? Remember, no Porzingis, so it'll be a different look Boston Celtics than we're usually used to. But where does Jalen Brunson hide on defense? I would assume if I was the coach, it would be Jrue Holiday. That's kind of what I assume Tom Thibodeau will be. Also, the Karl Anthony Towns impact. Also, Mikal Bridges' impact. It's a new team. What's it going to look like? What's it going to feel like? Is Karl Anthony Towns a needle mover? I think he is. How is he going to fare against the Celtics and their 5-out offense, even with Al Horford? Cat should dominate Al Horford tomorrow. Not going to be upset if he doesn't. It's game 1 of 82, but I want to see Cat make his impact and let them know that it's a different brand of basketball going on right now in New York City. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's go Knicks!